Howdy everyone. Today I'm going to be looking at Shock vs Outlaws, just the first Koth map, because I'm pretty sure this was the match we saw a lot more DPS comps in. I want to actually look at more DPS comps rather than goats v goats a millionth time. Like, you can show me any goats game and I can talk you through what happens, but I actually want to see how these teams react to DPS comps and play the DPS comps. So, speed forward a little bit. I've seen the map, I've seen the whole match. Um, I know who wins. I can't really remember the fights though. It was like a week ago. And the Alvula updates like the week after the matches. Alright, so first point is just um what Sombra Anna variant of goats versus just the straight up Moira Winston. So straight away Shock's team comp just tells me they're expecting a DPS comp. The Winston allows you to zone out squishy heroes a lot easier and just kind of contest point, zap through the corridors. Like anyone that actually wants to walk the point has to go through a lot of cleave. Um, and he has a lot more survivability with his like, so he's not going to take crossfires. You know, like with the Reinhardt, a big strategy to, I guess, take him down with DPS comps is to just surround him, like take him down from every angle. So his Ryan Shield can't do much. But with Winston he can just jump out, and then Moira is just there to cover the weak spot of Zenyatta Arena. The no mobility, very easily diveable. And then on Outlaws side we've got Sombrana. So maybe Shock want to swap to Ana just to contest the Sombra a little bit. I think this is a fine comp. I think on this zone especially Goats is very strong. So you don't really want to branch too far out. But we'll see how it goes. So I'll go down to regular speed. Yeah, so Shock already backing out. We'll see what they swap to. They say it's well they don't say Diva. I'm not sure if yeah. Well now they know there's Nano. So they just go regular goats. It's just good. Honestly, how they take the point. Anyway, why is this good? It gives Shock a shit ton more point pressure. If they aggro onto the point right now, it's kind of hard for Outlaws to do much, just because like there's no ults up essentially. So Shock do have a little better neutral engagement if they go aggro very fast. But Sinatrá's already at half, so he's gonna back off or waste bubbles. We can't engage with it. We'll probably see Outlaws cap the point. If Shock wanna like actually stop them from capturing the point, they're gonna give up like they'll probably one of the tanks is gonna die, like Super or Sinatra, because you can't repair back both of them. Meanwhile, yeah, Outlaws are set up pretty easily. It's a pretty easy like anti-nade if like you catch the Rhine swinging from this side. I mean, as long as your team doesn't get in the way, and if Shock are gonna push through straight forward, then there's always the easy hack coming through this way from Dante. You can play high ground as well if you wanted. He can play either side. Either side's good. Megas on both sides. So we'll see if he keeps keeps Shock guessing. But honestly, I think once Shock notices Sombra, if they ever do know, if the Sombra uncloaks and goes for a hack, I think they retreat and come in through Elephant, because that will force a rotation from Raucous to the back of the point. Lowest mobility. I mean, they have Lucio to speed him. I guess kind of stupid. We'll see what happens. I'm probably just overthinking this. I think Shock just wanted to contest point right now, but they really shouldn't. I think they wait, regroup. I think they waited. They waste too much time. So Chui goes in for the boop. So we see Chui is very good at these. Like, yeah, I actually didn't see this coming. He comes in through this gap in the window, I think. Does he get a? I'm not sure if he booped Boink or not, but Boink's flying in the air. He's got Discord, so yeah, Boink's actually taking a little bit of. He's like Boink's got Discord right now, and he sits in front of Shock for like half a second. Takes their attention a little bit. Meanwhile, Choi's hacked in a really bad location. If he falls here, he'll have to come through main exit, forcing Shock into like one single location where they have to back out because they're hacked low and don't have resources. Yeah, this is fight's over, I think. I think Shock just reset off point now, especially because they don't have a Diva. Um, it's free animates for now, so if Outlaws wanted to, they could just stall back of point and wait for Rockets to either get Nano or hit a fat anti. So I'm gonna go full speed. Yeah, they cap. So give up the point. Okay, yeah, look, so they make the rotation. Alright, well, it was a bit late, but I guess like it doesn't matter since if you're stalling point, you don't give Outlaws any percent, but you lost Chui for it, so Jesus, that's a good swing. Yeah, Super and Jake, not Jake, Rascal just jumped into a swing. Force, rally. Oh, but Mima's discorded, so I mean, I like this positioning actually. Mima's discorded here, but you can't just rush Mima. Obviously, the bubble, you burn the bubble, right? You go for the bash, but you have Brig waiting to bash you, bodyguarding Mima. You got your Ana set up for a Nano, and then again you have the Sombra who can go both these directions. If you want to push in Muma from the front, then you got to deal with Dante hacking from the back. So it looks like a nice little bait setup by Outlaws. It's definitely a set play, I think. Yeah, they don't want to. The Shock doesn't want to take the bait. Are they going to rotate further? No, okay, they're waiting for the Diva mech. Smart, honestly, I should have realized. Now they go for the Muma, who can be punished since everyone rotated for no reason. So everyone suddenly rotates to the backup point, giving up all objective control. Mim's discorded and he's about to be burnt down. Well, there's the outlay bubble and he's still low. Oh, do you hit boink? You hit boink for sure, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I think I was gonna say I'm not sure. Oh, okay, you no links are here. Is he charged? 100 charge. Alrighty. Oh, I might as well watch his pop. So they get Choi. Actually, no, I don't like watching his pop at all. Can't see anything. So Choi slept. I think it was should bash into sleep. It's good pressure on him. But it does mean that Super can follow up without taking these offensive resources from Outlaws. But Jake's rallying, so I don't know. I feel like Shock just really want to back out, like rallying and Nano. Choi probably gets to Tier again. Okay, wow, and Grove. It's insane. I was gonna say like those two Waterloo would just force Shock off the point for a good like 15 seconds or so, 10-15 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. I'm being generous. But I mean, the Grav is invested as well to keep him on the point to guarantee the team fight. The thing is, the only reason you would want to do this is if like say Movement died early in the fight, he just came back and he has like 10% ult charge. That's when you might want to do this because you can get like maybe a shatter off it, but Moom already has shatter, so there's the Trank. It was a good anti at least. Yeah, that was a good anti. Let's see. Let's see from Volkus's point of view. I mean, he probably just walks up and needs the floor, but sleeps Diva. They instantly wake him. So it would have been cool if like yeah, he just walks up and empties the ground. It would have been cool if like they didn't wake Super, but I guess the Grav damages him anyway, so it's wishful thinking. Yeah, well that's one. I mean you use 3 ults for it for Trank and Shadow. Choi's only 30% to bomb as well. Wow, he did not. He got shut down instantly the whole fight. Makes me think that maybe Outlaw's plan is hardcore CC Choi because he's been hacked like 3 times. He's been slept once or twice. He's been brig bashed once or twice, and he's at 30% ult. So I guess I mean, and the reason maybe for doing this is so you prevent any diva bombs from your Zaya, especially since if he gets a nano, you definitely get grav faster. Like you get grav before the opponent gets their grav, or maybe before their bomb, or even before they trank. I mean, Violet got trank, but that's why you have anti-nade on Nana. I like it. I mean, you do invest a lot, but you got beat. I mean, you got EMP next fight. I guess maybe you EMP Shatter, and Shock doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, Shock just have grav though. It's like honestly, next fight I wouldn't be surprised if Shock just speed to point and yeet the grav, because there's nothing Outlaws can do against that. They kill through beat. So like maybe yeah, maybe just go high ground. So if Shock just yeah, it looks like they want. If you go high ground, you deny like any space from the Sombra. Like you coming you're coming through here. Where's the Sombra gonna sit? Here? No, because the second like you uncloak, they hear that, they turn around, you get brig bash. You can't risk that. Maybe like you can sit on this little thing here, but it's kind of it's kind of open division tier. Not gonna lie. You get killed here. You get killed anywhere you set up here. So it's sitting in this position. It means that there is zero chance for Outlaws to aggress onto Shock. Um, Especially with EMP, because if the EMP Shock while they're up here, that like what follow up does Outlaws have? They can't. They don't have a Winston to jump in. They don't have a Diva to jump in. Shock just sit here and wait. So they can regroup up here for free. When they're ready, they push onto point. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Sinatra just yeets the grab from up here and they speak to point. I like that wouldn't surprise me, and I do not think point should use beat if that is the case. Unless maybe make it into shadow. Yeah. I mean, I guess he wouldn't need a beat even if he does hit a shadow. Whatever. Alrighty, so they don't even. Wow, okay, they don't even bother. So like, okay, they should be waiting here. Shock should not be rushing down this yet. Like heal up for like 2 seconds. Choi's going on the side over here. I like that. That's good because gives you a much bigger uh field of view for the anti-nade. So Raucus is sitting here, right? He wants the anti-nade from up here. If Choi's sitting, oops. If Choi's sitting like here or here, then his range of vision is severely blocked by the high ground posts, especially because he doesn't want to be sitting in front of his team. Because I mean, like if you sit in front of the shield, you take damage, right? So he takes this spot. Maybe he even sits up here. He could drop down to here. He'd have still have good field of view over the top of his team. Because like you would probably guess that the nade comes over the top onto the wall for the splash. So I mean, as long as he DMs this general high ground from like a safe location, like even like behind here, although that is rushable. I mean, it's very shatterable, I guess, for Murmur, especially since he just shifted. Yeah. So I still think like Shock's best. I had a hair in my mouth. Best plan is just heal up first. First of all, heal your tanks up, and then just yeet the grab in. Even if you get Muma by himself, like it's so easy for Super to pin him into one of these two pillars. Even from high ground, just yeet down, drop, pin into the pillar or point. They get beat drop, but like you kill through beat on grab, especially if Drake gets caught on the grab too. Like he still dies to beat with the beat. So yeah, okay. So Nacho just eats it. Nice, like you get half the team. Like that's mad. Here's the EMP. Maybe EMPing and beating is like the way to go. Maybe then you live actually. But then like Shock at a good trade. Which you don't care about, I guess, if you're Outlaws, because you know you're gonna lose the like 99% fight, even if you win this fight. I think Outlaws definitely lose the next fight, right? So even if they win this fight, they definitely lose the next fight. But maybe they know that, and then they can just bank ults for the last fight. So maybe like this comp is designed around going 199, like get an early nano, Nano use Zaya, get an early grab, get value out of the grab because you get ults before the enemy gets Trank or Diva Bomb, and you've made sure of the Diva Bomb because you're hacking her, you're sleeping her, you're stunning her, and then cycle ults until you know Shock have their ults. And I'm gonna win the last fight. So you just build 6 ults and push in again. I mean, it's basic ult economy for Koth, right? It's pretty basic, but like Outlaws. I mean, in a scenario where like goats v goats mirror is so common, and you don't want to be ulting first for the most part, and you want to be using your neutral fights to outplay the opponent, force them to ult. This comp from Outlaws, where they're relying on early ults and just spamming ults, actually seems pretty interesting. I mean, obviously, it's not their fucking invention. I've seen this like a dozen times. It's just they're analyzing a game, right? So there's the beat, right? Yeah, Blink beats, Dante EMPs. I guess Outlaws have the advantage here, especially since the sleeps on Choi again. Yeah, I mean, even though all like Shock's all hacked, like 4 of them are hacked, and one of them's asleep. Super's the only one who's like not CC'd right now. Yeah, okay. I don't even need to watch this. I think Shock just lose. Yeah. Okay, well, the invest Shatter as well. There's 3 ults. I mean, I don't agree with Shatter. I think beating EMP is fine, especially since if you're. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I always do say nice little stagger. I always do say Shatter's kind of just like that ult you throw out. But I mean, still, like that was a one fight. You'd much prefer to throw it out on this last fight and get a defensive ult out of the enemy at a Shock. Anyway, it's 85 to nothing. Shock are coming up on ults, but they don't have ults. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually just like take a bit of spam for a bit to get Violet and Moth to support ults. Maybe even Choi before the contest point. Diva Bomb. So they go high ground again. Like just in general, this high ground just denies enemy Sombra, which is good. This time though, Choi feeds a little bit of ult to Linksa. I'm not sure if he already had Grav. I should have looked. I don't think he did, but Choi just fed him some ult. I see Dante coming up through the back. Again, looking for the crossfire, like usual. We'll see who he looks for the hack on. So I want to look in slow-mo. So, okay. Let me just quickly talk about how to play into like Sombra. For the most part, it is just play hardcore aggressive into the enemy's Rhine, because if you can catch the enemy team early in the fight, like before their Sombra has set up properly. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's not easy to do that because she has like bonus to speed or stealth, which is retarded. It shouldn't be. It should be like half speed or stealth. But anyway, like she should be able to like scout this for free and push in at the right time. But for the most part, if you're quick like Shock want to be quick here, because if they push in here, be extremely aggressive, put all their defensive resources into Super. Like Super goes in, he gets DM, he gets Cyber Bubble, he gets Repair Pack Speed, Harmony, everything. The net gain, the net damage, the overall damage plus damage mitigation outweighs the 5 people here because there's no Discord, there's only Ana nades, which should be dealing with through huge damage mitigation, like shield, bubble, 2 bubbles, sorry, and DM. So it's going to be hard to hit an anti. It's not reliable to roll out anti, which is why they're probably going to go for some a hack on Choi, but he's playing the other side of the map right now. So maybe we see a hack on Violet to deny Trank, or even Super. But like, how do you hack Super through all these people? So as I was saying, the idea is basically like, say Super just charges in for free, he gets bubble, Muma gets bubble, both bubbles break. Now Muma 100% has Discord on him, and Choi's just DMing Super while he gets up. So even if Super not only doesn't have Discord on him, he's got Defense Matrix to mitigate any damage on him while he's stunned on the ground from the charge colliding. I mean that's if Muma takes the counter charge, which he should. Fucking honestly, or maybe you don't. I mean, that's theory crafting, but maybe you just like take the charge because that way you literally split up Shock. They're down here while Super would be here, and you do actually get an anti-negate off. Maybe asleep. choice of anyway. We'll see what happens because it's too easy to like theory craft in this scenario. Fuck, there's too many things I want to watch at once. So Choi goes for a boop in. Okay. Dante hasn't decloaked yet. Maybe he's waiting for communication from his team. I think maybe that means Outlaws just back off to the back of the point. Like maybe Mimic contests and Outlaws fall all the way back to the behind Elephant. Because I mean, if they do want to take a really, really long fight and wait for Golds again, if they are planning on winning this fight, like Nano, Rally, Grav, I mean, it's a big opportunity for them to win the fight. They got EMP soon too. Then their best bet would just to be stall and build ults. So I would like to see all of them fall back to point except for Muma. Jake stays near Muma. Like use the wall right here, like third person around the wall. Too many Briggs don't do that enough, like third personing. Especially when the Briggs stun is a fucking hit scan. Like it's instant. So you just jump around, boom. Anyone that they don't know you're there, you know they're there, and you have a hit scan stun. It's fucking broken. So I think Outlaws just back off to the back of the point. But the issue with that is that oh no, Snatcher doesn't have grab. I'm stupid. I was gonna say because they don't have a Diva, Snatcher just gets a grab. It doesn't matter. Even if they back off, they get caught in it. But I mean, if you think about it, like Outlaws have a huge advantage here. If they get a single CC off into Choi, they went with Grave. No, Violet has Nade. Violet has Trank, but then they have Nade. But that's what the CC. Okay, so if you get a sleep on a Choi, or if you get a hack on a Choi, you win. If you're Outlaws. So yeah, they back off point. They back all the way off point. Kind of, not really. Like they back off point. They still point. They re-emerge on point to grab Super by himself. Dante's still. No, Dante is not. They hacks. They try and hack Snatcher. I don't agree with it. He's 50 energy, and like he has ally bubble in 6 seconds, which is the duration of the hack, right? So you're only just shutting down his self bubble. I mean, I say only, but like there's a lot more things you would want to say to shut down, especially when you can, especially when you can. Oh my god, fuck off. Especially when you can hack Zen, who has Trank. If you hack Zen right now, you win the game. Like if Dante was camping on this side of the thing and saw the Zen instead of the Zaya, they might win this. Because I see. I mean, maybe they do win this. Because obviously, you Trank if you're Violet, right? I think you should. Someone just hacked, but he doesn't have Ballet Bubble anyway. It doesn't matter. Toy doesn't have defensive bomb. You got beat. You don't want to beat for a grab. Maybe you do because it means that Violet doesn't have to misposition himself to enter the grab. I still think Outlaws are misplaying right now. They really should have just paused for like a couple seconds and waited for the Nano and rally, because that just gives them that gives them kill potential even through the grab. I think. Like if Nano Mumo charges super, it's like 450 damage. And I don't know, maybe like you follow up with something else, like someone else is shooting at him, the body, that might make up like the 50 extra damage to the Trank. Oh, okay, so Shock double support up, so maybe they do lose this. And okay, super. So that was really quick cleanup from Outlaws actually. So that really just comes down to Choi missing the eat because both. I mean, fucking honestly, I think Violet could have tranked earlier. Wait, let's look. Actually, no. I say that, but I'm looking at the game in 0.25 speed, so can't be too picky about trank timings. I mean, might as well look, I guess. But... So he knows his okay. Oh, whatever. Let's see how this goes. They've committed both support ults. Now is definitely the time when you just back off the point as Outlaws. Even if you need to give Shock the point, you just... I think you do it, honestly. You wait for the support ults to run out and you re-go in. You go in with your 6. Because Mim's just scored it. I mean, if you can save Mima, that is. If they had Nano, he lives for sure. If you have Rally, he lives for sure. So maybe poking was the right thing to do. I mean, they're 1% off both. But Raucus looks like he's overextending himself just to get that extra bit of percent. He gets to sleep on Choiven. I really want to see what happens to Mimi here. Alright, so he gets the nade, that just gives him nano, so it's actually a good nade. It's a really good nade. Well, but they can't follow up on it because Moom is discorded. And he's low, because if he drops his shield he dies. Unless he's nanoed. Oh, there it is. Now Rascal will rally. Oh, Jake rallies. Okay, this is huge. I mean, obviously it was coming. I just wish they played it a bit cleaner. Because I think relying on getting those ults is at that time is just way too unpredictable. But anyway, I guess it's clean up the rest of the point. Alright, sweet. That's cool. All in all, Outlaws, I think the second they won the first fight, they actually won the round. They comp allows them to do that. The issue is if Shock actually came out with just regular Zengoats, I think they won the round. So maybe if they're like a few seconds quicker in swapping heroes and contesting points so they don't give it to Outlaws while taking too much damage. Maybe if you just give Outlaws the point in the first place and you don't risk Choi's mech trying to like get a 20% advantage over Outlaws because you win the neutral fight anyway when there's no ult online. Yeah, I think that's a bigger throw on Shock's part, to be honest, than it is like a win on Outlaws. I mean, they played it right until the end. I think they played the end wrong, but so did Shock. If they didn't layer their support ults, they would have won that fight because they could have stalled long enough for Shock for Super to get back, and he had Shatter. I want to say he had Shatter. Maybe he didn't, but I still think you win, or at least have a chance of winning. All right, I'm watching the wrong side. Okay, I go back. We go back. We watch. We watch. Okay, so Outlaws playing ball goats, I guess you could call it. I'm not a fan of calling everything goats, but it is goats. And Shock just come out in regular goats this time. Let's talk about Winston a bit for this point. So obviously primals are huge. And denying space is another huge thing. So usually at the first side of both, I mean when it's mirror, like say I think Shock on this side. So yeah, at the start of the fight, usually your Winston wants to come in as quick as possible and take this location, and then body block. You actually want to body block the opponent's tanks from being able to take these what are they, like corridors, I guess. I don't know what to name them. So say for example like Super gets here first as Winston, boobies. Um, oh wow, that actually threw me off a lot. Say Super gets here as Winston, he body blocks. Like say Moom is also Winston, and Super body blocks him. Then basically Moom is just sitting there, right? He's just sitting in this long passage that has like easy sightlines for both teams. So it does kind of come down to who can control this area first. And then once the point unlocks, you also have a safe leap to the point because you can leap from undercover. Obviously, you also have access to the Mega. That should be like obvious. You also have a safe leap to the point from this over here. I mean, obviously you do from here as well, but if you're down here, then you're basically corralled. And I think if your whole team is sitting in this like zone here, then it's just easy for a Winston to jump in because like this map is there's a lot of like predictable locations the team has to fight in. This corner is one of them. Another one is the stairs leading to the point down here, like these corners, and like another one is just here. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Not here. Yeah, it's very easy for a Winston to get huge cleave, and then like a lot of mobility to get out in different areas, and then the primal. So I think I'm just trying to explain my reasoning why I think Winston's better than Ryan for this map. Anyway, why is Ball better than Winston on this map? Personally, I have no clue. I think maybe Muma sets up on the Mega first, because you always get there as Ball first, and then like when he sees it, because like you don't know what the opponent has until it's been 15 seconds. So this we've still got what 9 seconds left before the teams are revealed. Shock don't know that Outlaws are running Ball, and they wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect it. I don't know if they've played it before, but say for example, Muma sets up on this Mega. So he set up on the Mega over here. Super leaps in as Winston. Maybe he just like grapples in and gets the environmental. Maybe I think that's like the first thing that comes to my mind. But then I still I think Winston just I think if you boop someone off his ball from here, they actually just land on point. So I don't know. Oh, one thing that this open area gives is a lot of free slams for ball. If you do that thing where you just roll backwards off the thing and hold crouch, you instantly just like you roll back and then go boom and slam on the ground. But that's another thing. Mines, there's only one exit. There's only one entrance onto the point. So maybe mines can be used to just 100% deny the opponent from touching point. Um, yeah, I see. I'm not too sure myself, so I'm just going through my thought process on why you would want to run ball. And maybe it is just a scout, but the thing is, like, Moonman's going to be sitting here until like someone else shows their face, like in that mega window anyway. So even if it was a scout, like, I don't know, your team isn't it just the same amount of time it takes anyway? Anyway, I'm rambling too much, so we'll just move on and watch. We'll see how he plays it. So he doesn't even. He actually just waits here. He waits like. So let's see what happens actually. So he fireballs in. Does he want to go straight into Outlaws back Shock's backline? I wouldn't want to. I don't think that's a good idea. Cause like obviously he doesn't die, but like Shock really don't give a fuck. Like I mean honestly I think just Lucio Aura and I don't know, a boop is enough to deal with anything Hammond wants to do to you, like passively. I think Winston Cleave is a lot more threatening in this situation. I just because like when you play ball, I imagine you always going for the you're looking for the mobility and the follow up from the slam, and the fact that he can just live through anything to set up a play for your DPS heroes who have set up in like locations around the ball due to their high mobility. But like when you're just playing goats around a ball, I don't know. Like I don't agree. I think it's just too passive, not enough pressure. Like Shock just won't give a shit if he knocks him into the wall a bit. You know, that's cool actually. So I think he's gone for the mega, and straight away Super notices this, goes for the body block. Like I said, the body block. So Moom is already like he's kind of stuck. He's forced right now. This is awkward, right? If you play ball, you know this is awkward because like the only thing Moomer can do right now is fireball forward. Maybe do like a little trick shot through here, or just let go of his grapple and walk backwards, like roll backwards, because he can't get momentum through this choke thing here. He has to go forward, I think. Okay, or he just he ungrapples, yeah. But he wants to take the fight with Super. Maybe the idea of the ball is that you deny space from the Winston. But that can't be right because it looks like Outlaws are moving in. So even if they push into where the ball is up here, they take cleave. So it's not like they're denying space. Because he still just jumps to point when it unlocks. Like it's not really. Super's kind of like not giving a fuck right now. Ball got repair pack already. I think he might have got an ally shield as well, which is really bad. Like Outlaws would be so low on resources. Like Super might just be looking to leap into them right now. I wouldn't be surprised. So they boop him back. Brig just to activate shield, health heals things, I guess. It's really important to get these. If you're playing Brig, you want to just be spamming these out, in my opinion. Like, it's too hard to get a positional boop um, when you're not rallying. When you're rallying at the speed boost, you can, like, maybe, like, work yourself around a Reinhardt and boop, like, stun boop into your DM. Otherwise, like, you never really get a good boop. It's kind of just good to just throw out there, hit, and activate your healing for the next 5 seconds or whatever it is. That's a good habit to get into because it'll increase your healing rate, especially when the team is like who's he swinging at right now, right? He's helping heal poke because there's no heal shields provided by Muma. So Moth comes in here to help Super. I guess he can just boop Muma away whenever he wants like this. Because I don't think he Mimic grappled. So that's what I was saying before. I don't think he grappled. I think he just did that tech where you like go off a ledge, like slightly off a ledge or a staircase to slam. And it doesn't do anything. Like Muma's gotten what 13% ult charge. Super has been doing less and he has 17% ult charge, and his ult is arguably more significant on this map. Speed it up. See, look, like Outlaws have just given up so much space here. It's kind of ridiculous. At this point, like it feels like Outlaws want to bait Super into jumping on them. I think Super knows better than that. Yeah, I don't think Super jumps on them. I think he just jumps the point when it unlocks. Because like the whole idea of Winston goats on this comp is kind of like a counter dive situation where you don't want to make the first move because it'll give the opponent an advantage if they want to like leap on. Say you leap with your Winston, and the opponent leaps onto your Winston, they have like a net gain in DPS.
The objective is now active.
Depending, obviously. So Mimic contests. She's like, you could have done that as Winston. I say like half of me just wants to pause every 3 seconds to see what I'm missing because I don't understand the thought process behind this ball. And another half of me just thinks it's stupid, it's not going to work, and that I should just hurry up and get to the point. Unless this is what they're looking for, so Shock actually goes to point, he rotates a point, Sinatra's like, no mobility and low range, right? So if Sinatra goes to point, that means it'll take a long time for him to take a fight on this area here. And Rascal's over here as well, with Moth. So Rascal is probably the most at risk right now of getting booped, but it doesn't look like he will get booped. And I think Rascal plus Shock plus Moth heals plus Rascal heals, like these three heroes together, like it's really difficult to like kill them without burst damage if they're just pocketing each other. So Choi's gonna go in as well. And Sinatra can't just sit on point because he takes pot shots from Raucus. I should be watching this. So yeah, like I said, they're kind of just dealing with each other. So I guess like Outlaws are waiting for Shock to just split themselves. I suppose that's it. I feel like you can do that with a Winston anyway. Maybe the boop from Muma was important, where like he went here and then like booped whoever was here back. Maybe that's important. That probably is important. That's probably like the whole idea of the comp. Choi kills Jake because Jake is in a pincer and Brigida in a pincer can't do much since she has one shield from one angle. So it's bad positioning by Jake. Probably should have just been playing here to block like orbs from Zen. Yeah. So Jake dies. You get your free slam, Uma, that's nice. Now do you go for the environmental? It looks like it was an attempt environmental. Rascal actually does to the boot. Okay, well. I did say he was threatened by being in that area. But like then at this point Shock is just like, alright, well we just regrouped and pushed your entire backline. So I think that's it from Shock. I think they win this. If they don't, I'm gonna rewind, but we'll see. Cool. So Shock have Trank. I don't know what it is with Zen's and getting Trank. Oh, you know what it is? It's because Outlaws don't have a shield, so we're gonna see Violet get Trank very quickly throughout this map, I think. Raucus has it as well, but I mean, it's not like a Winston shot. It's terrific. Whatever, I'm just being biased. So Super gets forced out to it, whatever. Get some heals for Rascal, but gives up his forward location. But I mean, I guess maybe if you're Shock, you kind of like. Do they play defensively here? I think they do. I think they just like store point with like Diva and Winston and like wait for Outlaws to make a move. Maybe like Outlaws wait until they get rally before they make a serious engage. They're 80%, and then I think maybe Shock go for a grab play at that rally. Because I don't think Shock want to invest ultimates before Outlaws invest in an ultimate. Alright, so actually, don't worry, Mim is dead. We gotta watch that. I don't know how I missed that happening. Gonna watch the points. Okay, pause it. Mima is full health. Takes a lot of poke from Violet. And he's discorded. And he's in a really bad location. So like, yeah, sure, do your little fucking trick shot swing thing, right? Where you go for a boop. You don't even do it. This is... Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Okay, I'm dumb. So obviously, Outlaws set play for retaking point is to send Moomer in through these tunnels. Go sit in the back. Dante can test from like behind this pillar, I guess, where he's like the least amount of sightline possible for him to be hit. Like you have to be playing like a really big off angle, which is far away from the point to actually hit him. And even then, he's got DM right. And then if anyone goes onto point to contest, like I guess maybe it's just communication from like Boink or it doesn't matter who. It could be anyone, Raucus, Boink, Jake, whatever. All Sinatra's on point, and then Muma rolls through and gets the environmental thing. I mean, that's a play, but then like you see Super, he's big brain as fuck, goes for the body block again, and at this point, that's what I was saying. Muma must be going for a trick shot through here, like where you just like you zoom in, grapple, and you go out instantly looking for an environmental. Because if your momentum is stopped, momentum is stopped in this area, or if you fucking ungrapple like you're a retard, then you're susceptible to body blocks because you need the momentum from the fireball to actually pass through. So he dies. He's body blocked. Super's big brain as fuck. Moomer's being coached badly. I don't know. Like I think that again, I think this is a good. This might be a good open division strat. But like when the game plan, or what I'm assuming is the game plan from a lot of teams from Winston Goats on this comp from this map, is basically just body blocking in the first place. Then like I'm sure they're gonna have a good understanding of body block the fucking ball. He went into a bad position willingly. Didn't even have to bait him there. So yeah, so Mima dies. Meanwhile, Outlaws capitalize on none of the space made. So Mima dying here does force all of Shock behind the point onto this like shitty little zone here. Unfortunately, the only person that can take advantage of this is Lynx's right clicks and Raucus's orbs. So maybe like Lynx that gets grav before this fight ends and they retreat, but you did just feed a hamster and a diva's worth of ult charges to Shock, and they didn't use a single thing. Which is why I thought that maybe Outlaws would want to wait until they got rally before they pushed in, because at least you have like some threat. You have some threat coming from something else other than Muma setting up too early, or not even too early, just bad coach, bad. I don't know. Like, whoever thought of that obviously had the right idea in mind. It's you needed to have that idea in mind like half a year ago. Like it's too late to think of these strats now. Okay, so finally getting some ults for Outlaws. We're gonna look at some win conditions for him. Rallying in is one, grab is another, grab bomb's another. I mean, grab bomb only works. Actually, you don't have a run. You don't need to look for a charge. I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say only if Jake gets a shield bash. That's incorrect. I don't know. Maybe Murmur drops his minds on it. The issue is another issue. I guess I'm saying with Outlaws comp is grav combos. So let's look at Zaya's grav. Who can combo with Zaya's grav? Not combo ult-wise, but just in general help out. So Super is a huge one. I, I don't know where I'm going with the story. Super is a huge one. Leap AoE plus cleave AoE goes through shields, hits every single target in the grav. It's absolutely huge one. Rascal, similar, you cleave everyone in the grav, but you don't have a lot of mobility to get to the grav. It's useful for setting up other like combos like with the Diva Bomb, although you don't see it too often. Obviously, Diva Bomb's a huge one. The downside being your team doesn't generate any ult charge from the kills gotten from the Diva Bomb, and like at this point, teams have figured out ways to actually just get value straight out of a grav and a combo. So Rhine charge into a correct position, or like maybe if you've broken their Rhine shield, you just get discorded Zen Dinks, which I think equals like 300 DPS, which matches the train kills per second, which means any other damage source will do damage over time rather than being healed up instantly by Trank. So we see like a lot of stuff going on here. Meanwhile, for Lynx's Grove, you have the Jake thing I said, but it's not very applicable because you don't really have like a Reinhardt or a Winston to like tank the damage that you're dealing at close range. And you obviously got the Raucous thing, the Zen thing I said, but that's it goes both ways, and that's kind of just like something that you get over because like Zen's not very unique when it comes to goats. It's kind of just like both teams can do what each other's doing. I'm rambling a lot, and obviously do. I don't know if I said it. All I'm saying is the Winston overall is just fucking way better. Like, what does Mima do? Single target, like damage over time. Not damage over time, but just like no non-burst, single target, unless he gets the fucking ground slam. But even ground slam, it's it's a single hit. It's not the fucking hundreds and hundreds of damage you get by cleaving a grab with Winston. So Mima's forced out. He's going through back. He's learned his lesson. No, he hasn't. He's on to point again. This time he knocks Super in. Now, this could be interesting because he could body block Super and do. I'm pretty sure Boar can 1v1 Winston in like an enclosed space where like both of them are shooting at this range. Like Cleave won't, especially since he's got the 100 extra shields. Cleave won't out DPS him. It's just like easy shots on the head, right? So this is okay play, but I don't think that Shock are gonna just sit back here and do nothing. Especially because you got to consider again, if Outlaws want to come here and like help Muma deal with Super, Super's okay. Two things: Super can cleave anyone that's sitting behind Muma. That's the first thing, right? So even if like both teams come and can help their main tanks up with like this sticky situation that both of them are kind of in, I think like Shock just deal more damage over time. It's just a fact. And they also have a shield that the whole team can use. Second thing, Super obviously has Primal. Like, obviously has Primal. So unless your entire goal here is just to force out Primal, back off and re-engage, then you get zero value out of this because this is exactly where Super wants to be. Like, he should know Muma has ult by now, so he doesn't really mind like just fucking around with Muma in here for a bit. He can like he doesn't really give a shit. If he wants, he can just wait until like Outlaws jump him on point and then just leap through Muma Primal and go for environmental. But like I said, I don't think both teams are gonna just sit back and wait. Maybe that is what's gonna happen. Oh, actually, Muma didn't even body block him. Just lets him out. All right. So Jake's coming to pressure point as well. So that's two people from Outlaws putting their resources onto point right now. Jake's got rally, so maybe they'll engage with the rally for once. Be cool. Meanwhile, Shocker just like playing the backline game. Lynx is aggressing here. He wants his grab. He can't grab this though. You can't grab that. Like I think, yeah, you don't get a kill. You don't get any value out of grabbing early here. Okay, so Lynx gets out. He does this big leap and he puts mines onto what I'm guessing is the staircase. Yep, so yeah, it's a good mine position. You block off entrance at the point for any hero that doesn't have mobility. It's good. It also means that like if Sinatra wants to push onto the objective from here, then he has to use self bubble to clear the mine so he doesn't get hit. Which is like it just means Sinatra's very susceptible. If he ever touches the point, he's susceptible to being killed. Which means he has to just deal with short outlaws, long range with right clicks. Uh, what else does it mean? It might force rank out just to clear the mines. I doubt it. I still like. I don't think Shock give a shit, which is the issue. Shock right now. If I'm Shock, I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna let outlaws engage however they want, and if they want to put resources onto the point, then we're just gonna kind of primal, and then we might just beat drop, and then we might just rally. We don't really care about winning the fight until it's 99%. Like, what happens if Shock wins this fight? Outlaws come in again for the next fight, right? But if Shock instead stall to 99, there won't be a next fight. In which case, you do want to invest Grav, you do want to invest Trank, you do want to invest Diva Bomb. Like the big hitters, like the stuff that like you get value in multiple ways out of. So I don't think Sinatra will want to invest Grav here unless Linksa grabs first, which is why I don't think Linksa wants to grab at all, because you first want to get resources out of Shock. It's a 6v6 ult fight. So normally, like I do say, like I do like to just watch ult fights and just take it for what it is, which is just entertainment. Because when you see both teams 6 ults and goats, it's usually just like a very trained priority list. Like, okay, we'll do this first, and if they do this, then we do this, and if they do this, then we do this, and if they do this, then we do this, and that's what you do for regular goats, right? With your abilities, you have a huge priority list of like, if they do this, if we do this, blah blah blah. But now you're adding all of your ultimates into the equation and all of the enemy ultimates into the equation. How you can combine those ultimates with your abilities, not just each other's ultimates. And like, there's so much to think about that, like in my opinion, it's impossible to get each ult like perfect to the way in the way that a pro Overwatch League player in my mind should play an ultimate. So I want to do something different and just look at the ultimates. Since it is 6v6 ults, it could be interesting. Maybe Outlaws burn like 3 and Shock burn 1, and it might just go down to 99 to 0, like I said. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll look at the game. I'll stop pausing it. No, I won't stop pausing it. So ball slams. I don't agree with the slam. I think you want to keep slam in this scenario. Like you got the mines down. That's the whole point of going for that grapple. I think slam is too valuable to just throw out right now, especially because it could save you from an environmental while your grapple's off cooldown. So now we have 3 people each contesting the point. Zaya, Zen, Diva, Zaya, Lucio, Zen. So both defensive ults over here, whereas both teams spread out very like unique, not uniquely, but like different to each other. I guess because it's defense and offense on one side. Muma leaps. So I'm gonna be looking at like everything I can. Meanwhile, Rascal and Choi trying to deal with Muma. There's Primal. Sinatra's aggressing on Link, so he doesn't have an ally bubble. It could be bait though. Maybe he wants to bait Sinatra into grabbing him, because he does have Raucus's train right next to him. Holy shit! I wasn't watching Jake. I think Jake's getting pummeled by Super. Does Jake die here? Jake dies. Yeah, wow. Do you just say retreat right now if you're Outlaws? You've only burnt one ult for one ult, and like neither of those ults either team cares about. Because primal you care about if you want to stall, but if you don't really give a shit about stalling, you're at 99% anyway. And you want, I mean, mine's pretty good ult in the way that a lot of big brain stuff you can do with it. I guess not into like a bunch of defensive ults. So I'll probably see Super and deny Outlaws a retreat because it's at 70%. Outlaws really don't want to stagger. So they're going to just try and hide and disengage, I feel. Try not to use any more ults. And then we're going to see Super trying to primal them back into these teams. So he's trying to stagger them for as long as possible. And the cool thing about this is if that you do manage to stagger them for like longer than like that's required, to make this to force this to be last fight, then you might force the Outlaws into ulting prematurely. So yeah, so sorry, I was gonna say maybe Dante bombs here, which he fucking does. I was gonna I was gonna say maybe they force Dante to Diva bomb here, but then I was gonna say, oh no, they just retreat and go in with 5 ults instead of 4 like a retard. Because Baby Diva doesn't live this. I mean, even if you do live this, you don't remake, that's for sure. And even if you do remake, you get teammate. Because Link's a can't help, he's 10 health. Maybe it's a zoning Diva ult. It's like, you just forced her to ult, so you might as well confirm the kill, because she's gonna get it on the mech and escape. Or maybe he shifts her on the outside. Still. I don't think he remakes. Oh, he does. Fuck. I don't really care about what happens, but like. No, he doesn't get out. No way. If you don't suicide right now, you're inting, right? Surely. Surely he doesn't make that. He doesn't make that leap. So obviously then Dante is probably shouting like, "You need to do something now or we lose the game." So Murmur realizes, okay, perfect opportunity for environmental. He can get Zaya here. He can kill Zaya here. Sinatra has Grav. This is huge. If he gets an environmental, he goes back out, and then Outlaws go back in with a Grav advantage. Ah, he doesn't get it. And he's probably going to feed a lot of ult charge. There's the body block again. You force the ball into losing all his momentum. And Mimi just rolls off the edge. Now, in most scenarios, right, 82% everyone knows golden rule, 84-85%ish. If you team wipe before 85%, then you can always touch the point if you have a Lucio. Especially true if you have a ball. So right now, Outlaws just want to be hard disengaging, like getting all the way back here and going all the way back in for maybe the last fight. Sinatra's like, fuck that. We demech Dante, I have a free grab, and if we stagger these kills for another 5 seconds, we automatically win the round, right? Because the only person that can touch for Outlaws in that scenario would be Muma or Zen Trank or Brig Rally. And okay, if multiple people go on to the point, it has to be with Trank, which means you don't have Trank for taking the inevitable 3v6 on point afterwards. So either way, you're at a disadvantage if Shock just sit on point and gank whoever touches first. Which is what I always tell people, like, don't chase kills, let them come to point, gank them on point, kill whoever contests. It's the simplest thing. You kill Dante through Grav and Boink beats, and Raucus is almost dead as well. Like, holy shit, he was like 10 health. I'm surprised he didn't drink. I'm really surprised he didn't drink that. I guess if he drinks that, I don't know. Actually, I don't know where he's going. That maybe now you can drink. Wait, did Link's a Grav? Oh, Choi ate it. I'm blind. That's huge. Because I think it might have forced the drink anyway. But I mean, it would have meant that you don't get any damage during a drink out. So at least this means that you out deep. You can in a way just like overwhelm the enemy's rally. It just means Raucus has a trank he can match with if he needs to. But I mean, Shock still have beat switch. They can beat straight after. They basically Shock know they have an ult advantage and they can afford to just keep support holding. So Rascal rallies, then the trank, and then after the trank maybe the beat. I mean, maybe not after the. I guess you wait until Raucus strengths till you beat, because at this point you know, okay, at the end of that beat we have the supreme advantage. their train has entered. We still have like 300 shields maybe from the beat. But you can just speed into them and suicide until they're dead.
Pass into the
Bunch of
iris.
ults coming out, and then Choi's bomb obviously puts a shitload of pressure. It's just throwing ults out for the sake. You have an ult advantage, you throw your ults out because it's last fight. Right? Yeah, I think that's it. That should be the 100 should like now Muma swaps to instant. Like now he swaps to instant. Are you serious? When when you can't touch as Winston, if your ball you touch there, doesn't matter. But if your ball you touch there,
Score
like
one
it's funny.
to
To
one.
me, it is.
Ready.
All right, so this is probably the most controversial point on Nepal. I say controversial, not really. It's the easiest point for DPS to contest. So I'll go over a bit of history on DPS comps versus goats. This is probably one of the strongest, like one of the main zones we see DPS comps beat goats comps. Obviously Maywall, that's the easiest one. You just make the fucking Maywall. Whoever comes in first. That's an obvious one. Should need explaining, and the Maywall's the size of the whole point. Second one, is Dive with Farah Hanzo, where you would have your Farah hover around high ground on this location. You'd have your Zen and Hanzo playing like these high grounds, and your tanks would basically be like alternating high ground on the low ground. And the idea is that you have Farah's rockets from this side, and you have Zen volleys and Hanzo's arrows from this side, and you're gonna build ults quick. So, because the only place I'll explain why. I should explain why. The only place for goats to hide versus a Pharaoh on this map is the point. If you hide in this mini, they don't have minis in them, but any of these houses, the megas, mini over here, if you hide in these locations, you can't effectively contest point when the opponent does because there's too much travel distance towards the point. Maybe you can pull off this area here. I don't agree because you're coming through these narrow as fuck doorways, which means any spam at all is gonna just fuck your team after the Ryan passes through it. So the Goats team is essentially forced to touch to play point. If they want to contest point, they're forced to touch point. That being said, the only way to actually kill goats when they're on the point is with a barrage, really, for the most part. Or you can like the Hanzo strike can work as well because it just cuts off like an exit, and then you can kind of come in through one side. The whole idea is just the crossfire to build ult early into a team fight one. So if it essentially goes always captures the point first, like the narrative would be one goes caps. Why am I spelling it out? I can just talk. So goes caps. They give up 20% until you get barrage. Then you team wipe with the barrage. And then when they make their transition to point, whichever way they come on their transition, you deal as much damage as possible from as many crossfires with Zen, Hanzo, Farah, and then hopefully you got like 80%ish by the time they get to point. And when they're playing point, you go back to your regular crossfires, get barrage again, and you keep doing that. And maybe not just barrage, but like anything else. I'm saying this just because this point is extremely, extremely specific to niche comps. So I from shock will 100% see them go to point. They will play on point, I guarantee it. Maybe they go high ground, point unlocks, they go to point. Might, maybe, I don't know, I doubt it because they know Outlaws like to play Sombra, and Sombra has a lot more freedom if she wants to come in through this way while they go high ground, while Outlaws play in through the opposite high ground. Whereas this location has predictable doorways. If Sombra wants to come in to contest you, she's always going to come in through one of these doorways. Um, Doomfist Sombra, people are going crazy about this for some reason. It's not that. I mean, it's innovative. It's nothing too special. It's just goats. It's Sombra goats, the same one we saw in the first round, but you replace Brig with Doom. What does that do? Uh, you no longer have the shield bash. You don't have the rally. But if you'll remember, this point is a fucking square. It's a cube. So let's zoom in on the point. You tell me where you're gonna sit on this point or on this objective. Take a rocket punch and not die. Like, at least taking 300 damage just from a rocket punch. You always hit a wall, and it's always follow-up damage because say you're standing like just here, he punches you from this side, you just come in you move an inch back, you take the damage. You can always put like the way I always saw Doomfist into goats, like adverse goats, is that um while one team with Brig will be looking to kind of like control space over time and like weigh you down, um, Doom kind of just resets the engagement because he can just punch away the run whenever he wants. So you instantly just like, I'll get it. Fucker. So say this is Rhine goats. They're pushing forward. They try and move forward. This is Doom goats. And he just punches you, and instantly your Ryan goes all the way back here. If your Ryan shield is over here and the rest of your team is still set up, so like the Zaya is coming one side, the Div is coming another side, maybe your Lucio is standing in Brig or standing right behind him. Suddenly your Ryan shield's back here, you can't afford to be playing this far in front of it, so you have to fall back with your Ryan. So it basically just creates free artificial space and resets an engagement if you're playing Doom into Ryan goats. But in this specific location on this map, I think the only reason is the objective. It's just free punches and free escapes. Because you're going to be playing, Shock take the objective every time, so you're going to be playing into Shock playing the objective. Sorry, I'll just. You know you're going to be playing into Shock playing on the objective. I keep doing that, man. You know Shock are going to play the objective, so you're going to be looking for ways that you can engage onto them. So I expect to see Outlaws push in from one side, and then maybe have Dante. Obviously, definitely have Dante coming in from one side, and maybe like they send Jake around to this side as well. Or maybe, he just comes in with a front line with like Mumbai and just punches people backwards. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's such a good point for Doomfist. And then the Ana, yeah, the rest of it is just the same as the first round. You just don't have the sustain from Brig, so it looks like just a regular 2-2-2 comp, right? And it's very easy to get this confused with hack fist dive or whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is significantly different, which is 100% about catching people on rotations. So like say Shock wanted to move in from like this way, they're going to come through this choke, which means that like maybe you have your Doomfist sitting in here waiting to punch them against this wall as they transition in through here to the point. So maybe like your Ryan is here, your Doom punches their Ryan into the wall, and then you charge him. Like it's not sorry, not Ryan. Like your Doom would be sitting here, he'd punch, and you'd have a Sombra coming from one side, and then like Winston sitting up on high ground, and then a Zen sitting across the map shooting orbs at you. It's like you need to catch someone on the rotation, or maybe even an Ana instead of the Zen. Actually, I think Ana makes more sense. It's about catching people on rotation, whereas this comp is specifically, I think, about killing people inside this room. Yeah, because you don't even care about his ult, right? And there's a lot of ways to utilize his rocket punch. You boop Jake boop super back. Whoop, that's your Ryan shield boop back over to here. Suddenly all the people that were standing in front of behind the Ryan shield get shattered. That's another combo. Like you can be creative as you want. I think this point allows DPS to flourish because you force beefy tanky comps into playing a very very close quarters, very kind of dangerous kill zone. Yep. So Shock goes straight to point, and we see Jake setting up onto this high ground behind the point. Nice. Meanwhile, Outlaws setting up. I say, in my opinion, I think Outlaws don't want to touch point until it engages, until it unlocks. So I think they want to just let Shock sit here. Don't let him build any ult charge at all, and then maybe just like go for pot shots with your Ana. Maybe like build or EMP. Because another thing about sitting on sorry I'm pausing it for so long. Another thing about this point is that if the enemy is sitting on this point, it's very easy, like because Goats is always forced to sit on the point, right? It's very easy for an attacking team. Hey, let's ingress. Oh, our plan went wrong. Let's back off. It's very easy to back off on this point. Doomfist literally just uppercuts and like ease onto the top. Trauma translocates out. There's so much shit for fucking Lucio to war right off to, and Ana is always just gonna be sitting all the way at the back anyway. So Zaya is the only target I would say on Shock that is low mobility enough. I mean Outlaw, sorry, that is low mobility enough to actually have trouble escaping. So I'm thinking if Shock are able to identify this, they could punish slow rotations from Outlaws. But for the most part, they do want to just be punishing mistakes from Jake if they can, because it is kind of like a risk. Like, you know, Raucus is going to build a nano first, most likely. Especially since Outlaws can retreat for free, and then we could just take damage, walk back, get healed, walk back in, build nano in. Then you'd have nano pressure from the front line, and then like a Doomfist coming from the back. It's we'll see how this goes. Okay, so Mima jumps down. It's 10 seconds until it unlocks. Dante's, I guess, done his scouting, so he's moving back. So see, Raucus sitting up here always gives. Like he has a lot of opportunity for antis as well. So Choi's hacked. Choi was going after the Doomfist. Maybe he heard him. Dante he gets a nice hack onto him. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to say nice hack because he just held shift or right click, whatever you use for it. He just held right click on it in like his general direction. It's very skillful. So Choi's hacked. Does he die? No, but he's going to probably force repair back. I doubt it actually shocks. Yeah, maybe he does actually. Yeah, he does.
The objective is now.
And you also force shock to like the back of the point because they're like, oh shit, we gotta like kind of peel for Choi a bit. If they don't like readjust their positioning to like force Dante into this like narrower angle, then no, there you go. I was gonna say then they just continue to take free damage. So shock fall to the back of the point, and instantly you just have another from the opposite side. You have Doomfist punching in, insta kill on Moth. Very cool hero, and then at the same time, an anti gets thrown in. Look at that, that's good timing. Because Choi is hacked and he can't do anything. So this will probably hit. Oh, tell me that that doesn't hit Violet, does it? I mean, it hits Rascal, but wow. Does it hit? Yeah, fuck. See, if he could have hit here, it's just a mechanical thing. Obviously, it's like wow. I mean, obviously, I think sure, Outlaws still win this anyway. So I don't know how they let Rascal continue to live for so long because Doom punches through Brick Shield. I mean, all of his abilities except Ego through his shield and shoot. Muma can't peel. Choi's fucking low. He can't afford to peel either. So instead of yeah, so Shock just get cleaned up. So why I brought up that whole Pharah idea, the Pharah Hanzo comp at the start of this is it's just the same idea of crossfires. You have pressure from the front with Muma and Linksa. See, like I say this, right? Like, okay, so the idea is like it's obvious. You have pressure on the front from Muma and Linksa, and you have pressure on the back from Dante and fucking Jake. So Doomfist over here, Slumber over here. Now these two heroes are taking the back angle because they have easy escapes, translocate, uppercut into slam. Easy escapes, very easy escapes, and they both get a lot of value going for crossfires. So Sombra builds her ult charge, Jake goes for insta cure. In the meanwhile, the front line is literally just gonna be Muma, Linksa, Boink, with Raucus sitting up on high ground or wherever the fuck he was. So he's not killable. Maybe he dropped down for a nade, I think. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I think Shock misread the situation. They have maybe like 5 seconds to read the situation in the first place, because like you scout their comp once the time. You have 15 seconds basically. So at 15 seconds, you see their comp on the tab screen, and then the next 15 seconds, the point unlocks. So they had 15 seconds to kind of think of a game plan. I think the correct plan is to hard push their front line. Even if Choi's hacked here, even if he's demeched, let Dante, let Jake play with Choi and just all in on their front line. You have defense matrix, you have Brigstone. You need to just rush down whatever offensive pressure they have coming from the front, because whatever pressure that Outlaws has from the back in the first place will never be punished. They'll simply run away and try again like a few seconds later. Whereas the front, you have that small opportunity to chase them down when you match speed bumps, and you have bash advantage, you have DM advantage, you have damage advantage with Discord. I think Shock hesitated too much. I think they thought they could just sit on point and kill whoever came first, but they had to hard ingress, which is very different from Shock. Last stage, they were playing that very aggressive role, and they knew when they needed to play that aggressive role, which is the kind of Shock you want to see now. But then again, maybe they haven't seen this kind of comp. I think like if their coaches had seen this kind of comp, they would know to push straight into their front line before Anakin build a nano, and you should be okay with giving Choi's mech up. Honestly, like trading a mech for two flankers value like attention, I think is okay if you can get value out of like just you have to kill Muma though. That's the issue. But like you kill Muma every time. You don't have a brick to bodyguard him. The second he gets Zaya bubble, you go for speed amp and just bash him, and he should go down. You have to ignore the Sombra and the Doomfist, which is hard because it's like tilting as fuck here is just getting free value by sitting behind you. But yeah. So I think so far, from what I've seen in Koth, Outlaws have designed their comps because okay, this video before this, I was looking at Outlaws as well. I know that's because I thought they were going to run more comps like this in that video. It turned out to be Goats v Goats, which is fine because Goats v Goats is it's something that needs to be analyzed or shown how to analyze on Koth because it's a it's very important how you play the neutral game in the ult economy. But it looks like Outlaws from this week have just decided they want to put their resources into creating comps that win that first neutral fight through maybe some sort of surprise. For example, the ball comp, this Doomfist Hackfist comp, and the first round, I or was it just regular Summer Runner, which isn't too bad. The Outlaws are putting a lot of resources into winning the first fight. That's what I'm saying. So they want to snowball into 99, but they haven't been giving up like the dry fight on that 99 either. So maybe they think maybe their comps are designed to snowball the entire map if they win the first fight. In which case, like, cool, you snowball the entire map, right? At the same time, a month from now, when all these comps are like looked at for the 200th hour, and everyone knows how to just beat them by running goats neutrally anyway, then like we're just gonna go back to goats mirror anyway. So I don't know. Enjoy these comps while you can, because I don't think they're gonna last. I think once teams figure out that you can just push into like the enemy's front line for free, literally for free, then not for free. You're giving up a diva mech, but yeah. So this time I should look at the positioning. So something most our teams will do, or they should do, they all stay on high ground until the last moment. So they're all on high ground. Super wants to touch point, then they will drop off high ground. This is important. You just minimize poke. If there's any goats miracle, you just minimize poke until the last second. It also keeps your own shield healthy until the last second. So what's going on? Raucus is on the point. Dante's going for a flanker on the right side, and Jake's still sitting on high ground. So Jake really likes his position. I want to see why. So Outlaws just drop to the back of the point. They don't have the same like frontline pressure that Shock have because like Goats is basically just full frontline pressure, obviously, like no shit. Whereas Outlaws frontline pressure is just regular Ryan Zaya. So they push him to the back of the point, which is where again the idea that you want your ticker to increase as much as possible. All right, we got to 20%. Now we have to give up the contest. Now we're gonna go for our ults. Let's see if he hits anyone. I don't think he does. He definitely shouldn't. No, he doesn't. Oh, he fucking hits? Joey, what? I want to look at that again. Shatter's buggy as fuck, man. Holy fuck. That should not have hit. Sorry, I'm gonna just have this here for a sec. I mean, we get to see this again. We'll see how quickly they fall to the back of the point. I don't know, man. I don't know. If it acts like a projectile, then maybe. It's like a lingering projectile. It's such a retarded hitbox. So he gets the Shatter onto Chui. There's the Nano. I mean, if Muma's good at communicating, he'll tell Raucus that he can look for an anti right now. But he's still like they still don't have point. Like that's a really good boot from Moth. Like that's actually really good because Muma now has to still walk onto this point from unless Super's just walking back. Oh yeah, Super's walking back because he sees Jake putting up the punch. So the idea is that you fall to the back of the point and then you hard aggress with Nano Ryan and Doomfist punch. It looks like. See, I was thinking because Jake was sitting up here, he was gonna be waiting until Shock pushed the point, which is really easy to scout because like you just oh look they have 5 on point, and then he just walks around here and looks for an easy punch, just drops behind and goes for a punch, uppercuts out maybe, but it looks like he just wants to deny space from Super. So like okay, well, I mean like I said at the beginning of the round, like Jake going for this punch, Super his shield was here, the Shock essentially controlled all of this space. If Muma wanted to walk onto this zone, he would have to do so into Super's swings, and if Shock were able to do enough damage to Muma to threaten him, then he would have to walk off the point, and then Outlaws probably just give up point until EMP. But Jake going for this punch pushes Super all the way back, so suddenly the shield is over here, and here is the zone that Shock control. Here is the free space that both will probably like fight over at this point. Muma shattered. I haven't seen Muma do anything yet this match. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's getting hard carried. Dante's got EMP. They're gonna have to use EMP to win this fight, or they lose. If Linksa dies, they lose because they got grab. They need to. I think they need to combo these two right now, especially if Violet is able to Trink, but he's sitting in the middle of the point. So it is a good opportunity for him for some. Like look at this again, right? 6 people on point. Perfect opportunity EMP. Like you don't even need to like you don't even have to be able to see the point. If you're just sitting up top as Sombra and you see 6, you literally just drop EMP. So good. Such an such an easy hero. So Choi is stunned. Is it still the shadow? Am I dumb? Yeah, it's still the shadow. Gets up. Lynx is 1, so he won't be here to help. Basically, is what that means. Move goes in. He's discorded. I don't think he has ally bubble either, and he pushes all the way in to Shock side of the point. Oh, please don't tell me Super gets hacked here. That is such a rookie mistake. Now, in New York vs. Outlaws, I think I pointed out that Muma goes for a charge that takes a lot of people's um, attention away from his team and onto him. Look at this. Actually, look, I think if I... Oops, I think if I do... Yeah, look at this. This is cool. Look, you can see where they're looking. He's looking here, looking here, looking here, looking here, looking here. Even Violet in the Trink is looking at. And the interesting thing about this is, if you think about like just the okay, so every hero on this comp has a different range of mobility, and each person has a set of eyes, and if they communicate what each other sees, they can all learn about every kind of like viewing angle. So maybe like you have someone watching that side, that side, that side, that side, that side, that side. In this one scenario, every single angle that they see is right into this corner. It's really bad resource. It's like really bad real life resource management. So Lynx is still can't do anything. He's low. I don't think he has bubbles. Let's check his bubbles. Yeah, he doesn't have either bubble. Um, I should do this more often. I should look at their first person more often. Stante. Tell me he doesn't get this hack. But I mean, it doesn't matter. He's got EMP anyway, actually. I'm being silly. So Lynx doesn't need this grab, I think. But I think they might use it. I think they're going to EMP and just yeet the grab to here because Movement can take advantage of the fact that he charged into this wall already. He's already closed the distance between the teams. But look, Violet's tranked, so maybe he expects the EMP. So even if Mimiz dies, even if Mimiz hacked you, they can't do anything unless they land an anti. And they can't let an anti through the defense matrix unless Sombra EMP'd. So I think if you're running, honestly, if you're running Sombra Anna, you shouldn't worry about Trank. You shouldn't worry about a Zen tranking you as long as you're confident you can land an EMP. Like this has been a fat EMP. If Dundee would have EMP this, even during the trank, it's a free nade. It's a free 5-man, 4-man nade for Raucus. There's the grab. Chui's completely. He wants to hard deny Raucus right now. You can tell. He wants like the point of the shift. Like you might think, okay, he's just shifting into the enemy's backline. The thing is, even if because Raucus is gonna wait until defense matrix goes down, obviously. So even once defense matrix goes down, Choi wants to be in a position where he can body block, and only he will take the anti nade. Blink dies, right? It's not just too good to let that kill go. What was I saying? Gets to the grab. This is really good actually. This is a lock up link, so I should confirm the kill. They don't have beat? Yeah, they don't have beat. Mima die. Surprised. How did Snarcher kill Mima? Oh, hold up. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think shot cleaning up. 1, 2 ults. Shock used 2 ults. Outlaws used 4. The Outlaws have this really big issue with using multiple ults early and not using them together as efficiently as possible. Like I was saying, if you were to 3 EMP into that before like any other ult, if you were to EMP when you use your nano, then even if like gets a trank off, then like you get a free anti-nade because of the EMP. I think that was the only thing you needed to think about. You didn't need to worry about Earthshatter. You didn't need to worry about Grav. So Shock come through high ground. Oh, sorry, Hellos. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So Core comes through high ground because okay, if you're playing goats into this comp, there's just Ryan Zaya frontline, then you know that every one like team on team fight you can take, like head on head fight, you always win. So if you can hold him at this trick, then you do it every time. Meanwhile, Sombra's capping, back capping. So it's just a way to spread Shock very thin. I don't think this never captures, right? And you never get these kills because they speed away. But it forces Shock to come back to point. So they give up this high ground for free. So it's being just kind of smart. It's how do I explain it? It's like if you do this, then if you don't do this, then I win. However, if you do this, then you beat what I do. However, if I do this, then I beat what you do. So sitting on high ground and taking the fight up here, Shock win, right? Every time they win. However, putting Dante onto the point, because you know that they're going to come meet you at top, means that they have to retreat to bottom, because if they take their fight up here, they lose the objective. Unless they contest with 2, but that just means that it's 4v4. But you got the brig. I don't know. This whole idea is just to split up. Make Shock's resources drain a bit thin. I mean, everyone's seen like the Sombra store, the Sombra cap, right? Back up. So now that Outlaws see that there's only one person on the point contesting, they send their Doomfist in to help cap point. And again, Outlaws know they can just outrun Shock if they need to. Now, Super being over this far out, I don't think it's too much of an issue. I hope they don't give up point here. Yeah, if you give up point here, then you're forced. Fuck me. If you give up point, right? So you lose the point. The whole team comes back to capture the point. Takes what, 5 seconds to capture the point. That's enough time for Outlaws to push in. It's enough time for Outlaws to push in for the high ground. Okay, fuck this. I'm not gonna. I keep pressing the wrong thing. Pushing through high ground to touch the point and recontest. So Trey might have to get up his mech just to touch the point here, which is fine. Like, it's not fine, but it's better than losing the point. Okay, they actually get a nice sleep under. So Raucus gets a nice sleep onto a super. Shouldn't mean too much. Remember, it doesn't have shadow. If they pin him, then it would just put Moomer out of position because they don't have nano to cover Moomer. Like maybe they want to, if they big drop in. Actually, if Outlaws were to bait in and charge super, I actually can see them killing him. But I don't think you want to make that investment. Oh, I mean that's a better charge than what I was thinking. And you also have the Doomfist land on top of it. So, which is cool because like it's like comboing your charge with the damage from the Doomfist, so it'll stack, and you don't really have any other use of Doomfist. I mean Doomfist ult. So yeah, so that's cool. You stack enough damage on top of Super, and then you get 2 kills, right? Okay, so imagine if Super is dead, it means that if Shock were to contest the point, they would have to do so from behind 0 shields. What does that mean? That means that Outlaws can literally just walk in behind Moomer's shield and literally just zap him down. And the only thing Shock can do is either retreat off point, giving Outlaws the objective, or sit on point, contest, and die. Instead, they grab. I mean, not grab, EMP. The EMP. Why do you EMP this? Like, Shock are clearly giving you the objective. They don't. They just want to get out of here. If you're Shock right now, I think you're saying, like, fuck yeah, we win. Next fight. Fuck, I don't agree with that at all. You won the fight with no ults and then... whatever. Then you throw your ults in. Okay. Oh. So sleepy. That's a huge shadow, but yeah, you always get hacked right now because you're fire striking, so he can't follow it up with anything. Unless Boink is like 100 health. No. Alright, so I mean, that's a scenario where I might look to shadow. Like that's a good, I think that's a good shadow. Holy shit, he gets the kill. Oh my god. I mean, it's a good, all this does just means now Outlaws don't have a quick retreat. They can't move back quickly, and Shock can move quickly. They move, what, 25% now, is it? The speed increase from Lucio, so you run faster than your opponent. The math is you eventually catch up to them. That's what this drawing implies. Holy fuck, I'm getting way too tired. I'll have to finish this up quickly. So yeah, you're forced to, what I was saying anyway, you're forced to retreat to your default position because you don't have a Lucio to retreat from them holding up close. So again, Dante looking for crossfire. Shockwave pressure at the point, your Doomfist pushes him off the point, so now your whole team has to waste another few seconds coming to point. It's such a hassle. It's like not even annoying, it's just a hassle. Lexi's got grab, they got Lara. Oh, I'm just gonna watch it. Like, I think I've talked about everything I could possibly talk about when it comes to these ults. If you grab first, you want to 100% get a hack on Choi, who is currently... Wow, that's a really good position, actually. That's insane position. Because, like, Dante right now is just being like, alright, I'm looking for their diva. Meanwhile, Choi is just like, alright, I'm looking for your Ana. That's really good positioning. Because I was saying is obviously you force a trank out, you want to look for an anti. So let's just see if he's the anti. That's the only thing that matters right now. Does he even have anti? Or did he just use it? Okay, he did. He did just use it. Alright, he antied the ground. Oh, and Shulk actually beat drop, so that's cool. So you know that the enemy team doesn't have EMP. They can't remove your shields. They don't have enough damage to actually kill through Shatter beat like regular Ghost does. So you actually are free to use beat drop in McGrath because it also covers your weakness anti heals. So that's really good. You get to hack onto Moth. He got the beat drop off there, so it was close, very close. I think Dante was like half a second off. Mima comes in to swing. Dude, I think you nano Murmur here, man. I don't think you nano Linksa. Because Linksa is still shooting through a shield. Unless, yeah, maybe he couldn't nano Linksa through Boink. Murmur through Boink. How much charge does he have? 100. Well, let's see how quickly he builds ult then. I'm expecting him to get at least 50% off. Like 60, maybe 70 by the time this fight ends.
Pass into the iris.
Wait, does he have Self Bubble? He doesn't, so yeah, okay. If he held Self Bubble there, then at least you can maybe get the LOS check with the Self Bubble through Trank. But I guess the grab was ending anyway. So you're okay. So you're getting the deal for maximum value onto your next grab. Choi is the only person right now who's actually missing health on Shock, and that's because he's been sitting in the backline for this entire fight. Which like it might seem very risky, but then you got to remember like what is Outlaws backline. Like Dante's over here, Jake's probably on the other side. Linkser and Mima have to put all of their resources into the front line. The backline is literally just Lucio and Anna. Choi can sit here for as long as he wants, especially with Diva back. He could sit here for longer than like the team fight lasts probably. So Linkser, I disagree with this. Like putting, especially if you put Nano onto your Xayah, you want to be getting like kill threatening potential value out of it. Beaming down as a diva is just ult charge. You want to be winning the fight right now with 100 charge Xayah, not just building a next grab.
Nerf this.
So Jake has ult. He can escape this. He didn't need to use it actually. If he just used that punch to like get out, then he wouldn't have. He's obviously gonna ult to get out of the diva bomb, but he just went for a punch, which just hits. Then I mean I guess it's a gamble. It's a risk. But I mean, I think Violet's good enough to know, like, oh shit, better sit in front of the Doomfist punch. Yeah, basically, this Diva Bomb denies Linkser literally any space for his nano as well. Point beat it as well, by the way, let's mention. Do you use. Oh my god, where is Boink? Fuck, that's unlucky. It's really unlucky. Do you use your Doomfist ult to stop Choi from re-ulting? From resuiting? It looks like he does. I think that's kill range. It should be. Don't really care actually. Does Mimic contest? Does he get a shatter here actually? This could be a fat shatter. Get anti, let's get anti, gets 2 tanks. You don't really care about anti Diva. Moth jumps over it. Brig is hacked. I guess that's an okay target to hack. Especially now, like, she doesn't do any, like, you have kind of just taken her out of the fight. She can't reach anyone to activate her Inspire heals. And she has to hide from cover from Dante. Is the Grav. I do agree with this Grav. I was gonna say I don't know if I agree with it, but like it's risky to actually even call this a one fight yet for Shock. Wait, did he actually get the kill? He didn't get the kill on Choi, did he? No. I let him bring back. So you get the kill on Zaya always. Yeah, he's got Discord, nice. And you also actually grabbed off the point as well. So if they want to contest, Dante's got to come in, which means he gives up his good positioning. I mean, he's got EMP, so Dante's got EMP. I'm not sure why he's shooting him. He should just get out. You're just feeding him support ults. I mean, it's not. It's obviously not a big deal, but like, just yeah, you gotta be disciplined. You always have to be disciplined when it comes to that stuff. So now Alex put Drake onto Brig. So now, yeah, we're right back to just regular Sombra goats. Goats, air quotations. Here comes the EMP. Does Troy get hit by this? Look how slick they're playing. That was a really good rally, like that came out right before the EMP. Okay, wait, I wanna look at Rascal's point of view and just see what it looks like. I wanna see if he reacted to the rally. No, just rallied in. That's okay. Okay, so we'll talk about why they did, why that is okay. Right after this EMP UI goes away. Nice. So when you know the enemy team has EMP and mirror goats, I say mirror goats, you know what I mean? It's just goats, fucking whatever. When you know they have EMP, you know that he's going to be coming from a flank route always. So you know if he's behind you, you can take the 5v6 at the front, which is what they do. So Rascal activates his rally early, and they go to mow down whoever's in the front line. EMP comes out, and Sinatra dies first. Usually you have a grab in this scenario. So I think that anti for Raucus last round, hitting Super and Choi, doesn't matter about Choi, but Super, forced Rascal Sinatra to grab because he didn't think they were going to win the fight otherwise, which is fair enough. But having the grab here is really important because the second you see Outlaws up here in this room, you know that Dante is behind you. You speed in instantly. You instantly speed in. You get your grab at the wall. You come in and then you just do your shit in here because or even at the very least, you stop them from aggressing you after the EMP comes out. So it would have held them down long enough to where you can just like fall back here and hide behind this cover until the hack wears off. And at that point, it's been like what 72%. Maybe you can make a last fight. So really, it actually does come down to Rookus landing a big anti in the last fight. So it's a cleanup from the EMP. I mean, Shock had the right idea, like engage before the EMP, but didn't have the right tools. So all of Shock come into the point. Outlaws know it's the last fight, so they're setting up on high ground. Okay, I understand. So I thought they were sitting inside the point, they're sitting on top of the point. It's because they actually want to give Shock, like I said, right? The whole idea. Oh, actually, no, they swapped off this comp. They swapped off Doomfist. I guess it's just regular high ground at this point. You just get the drop on them when they come by. So we'll see a hack maybe onto Super or onto Choi as he's the last person to exit. So if they were to go to point, right, Choi would always be the last person. Like say Shock are all here touching the points, Choi would be like very cut off, which is an opportunity for Dante to get a good hack, an isolated hack. I think he just goes to the hack on Ryan, because if you get the hack on Ryan here, maybe as long as go Shatter, you can just boom, dead. Jumping from high ground also means you can choose who to engage on. So like say Shock do come through here, like eventually, right? Violet, for example, has to take, he's gonna go past this wall, he's gonna go somewhere around this little pole, he's gonna go here, he's gonna go, you can kind of predict where he's gonna go, so you know as Outlaws, alright, at one of these locations we get the jump on him, and we just jump on top of him and insta kill him. especially with high ground with the anti-nade. Actually, I didn't effort to consider that. Raucous can balance onto this path here and get the view for an entire anti-nade. I'd say for this like section here, because I'm hitting at low ground. I think you could hit this wall actually as they come in. Just theory stuff. Theory. So shock half a touch point here. Oh, tell me they touch. Yeah, they touch, right? So Moth is moving through mini. Does he wall right up and move him down? I doubt it. Maybe just going for the mini pack. There's the hack. Gets it on Zaya, I guess. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. It's just a bullet.
Overtime.
So they touch point. Oh, maybe Moth wants to be. I don't know what Moth is doing. Did he just get the mini? Was that it? Was that the whole plan? I mean, I guess. Oh, that's necessary. Okay, so Nacho wants to take the 1v1. That's cool. I think. Damn. So, wait. Raucous, Boink, Linksa, Dante. None of them are on the objective. It is just Muma by himself. Does he get a shatter here? Does he just get a really big shatter? Holy shit, yeah. Yeah, that's GG. Yeah, holy shit. Outlaws have Nano and Grav. That's GG. Well, in the end, so yeah, so in the end, fuck, black screen. In the end, like I was saying, that anti-Raucous got hit two people. One of okay, you know, I don't need to do this again. The anti basically won the fight. From the next fight after the anti, they had the EMP on the bridge, which gave Muma, Raucous, and Linkster enough time to get their ultimates for the last fight. In which case, Shock had nothing. So it's GG. It literally just came down to Raucous anti forcing Sinatra to grab early, not grab early, but forcing to grab to actually win the fight. I mean, that's just an assumption of mine. I don't know. Maybe the game plan was to use Grav from Sinatra, but I always try and just assume the best out of pro players. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone. I'm actually really starting to enjoy making these, so expect a lot more in the future. Thanks.